the White House released, I think it was June 11th or 13th or 14th, they released a statement basically classifying what a domestic terrorist is. One of the categories was militia organization. Even though it's in the Constitution, even though the Constitution supports a militia, and a militia is really let's just face it, what's founded this nation.
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's because your eyes and your ears are really the windows to your soul. You can only see so much before it really starts to get to you.
Where would you stand on Trump's policy of building the wall, and is that sympathetic in its own way, being a nation of laws, or the open borders we're seeing now?
I don't see Greg Abbott on the border just a ton. And I certainly don't see Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or any of the DC cronies, those communist, Marxist, socialist in DC. Yes, I said that.
Hello, friends, and thank you for joining us today on Jay Slay Made in the USA. I have a very special guest for us. This is a man who's been doing God's work from the mission fields of Uganda and now on the southern border, helping to rescue the victims of sex trafficking, especially minors. This is Samuel Hall. Samuel, thanks for joining us today on the Jay Slay program.
Thank you for having me, Jeremy.
Samuel, we got to know each other down there a bit over a dinner, some barbecue down in Dallas at a Reawaken America tour event. And as I heard a little bit about your story, it was very interesting to me. Your time on the border, I think you've been there 3 months, and also your background as a guy who's a Christian, and you attended Bible college. You've taken part in many overseas missions. I would like to hear from you, and I think our audience would as well. You're a guy that has started a militia, but how did that evolve? Like what sprang up within you to lead you down this path?
Well, gosh, we got started when I was pretty young. It was, like I said, Bible college at Christ for the Nations Institute, and going overseas and spending some time in Uganda and Kenya, Africa, is what I guess birthed in me a real passion and drive to want to help people. And when we saw the active slave trade and the human trafficking going on over there, at a very young, impressionable age, well, that makes a big impact on who you are and who you develop to be. So, and then in 2015, when we saw the really just the craziest election of at least my lifetime up to that moment, people getting chased down, just trying to get to their cars after attending a political rally.
You talking about leading up to the 2016 election or afterwards?
Well, leading up to the 2016 election, a lot of craziness. I've just never seen it that kind of nuts. Where the political opposition was very much violent in many ways. And so, we just wanted to protect communities. And I guess around 2019, 2020, we just decided to make it all official and put a name on it, called Patriots for America. We evolved into, combating child sex trafficking and helping to, facilitate the rescue of children and minors from trafficking. We've helped rescue a few adults as well, but, mostly our focus is minors. And then, of course, community defense is our bedrock. And gosh, man, since I guess very early October, we've been on the border, helping to secure our border and, hopefully defend our state and save our nation. So.
Yeah. And, in reading your bio, Samuel, it talked a little bit about the riots, not just back in 2016 or the violence there, but also in 2020. I think did that have a big effect on the militia before you got involved with the border? And what did the early stages look like?
Yeah. The riots in 2020 were really unprecedented as far as my lifetime goes on that kind of mass scale. I mean, that really even bled over into international countries. The George Floyd, incident there, which was, is horrible. It's a horrible event. But I think there's also a lot of criminal opportunists that overshadow that, and they take advantage of those situations and they use them to their own personal gain, legally or illegally. So, a lot of people were hurt, dying, whole cities getting burned down. It's just a mess. It was an absolute mess. There was no winners. And the whole time you have the Democratic Party in DC, gaslighting the whole thing, encouraging it, setting up slush funds for people that got arrested so they can get bailed out, just so they can go do it all over again, just to perpetuate a chaos, to draw a bad light on the Trump administration. It was the most insane time, man, in our nation that I've seen in just a long time.
Got it. Give us a sense of the scope and size, because this is not just like one small group in one town. You got satellite groups. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So what does that look like? What are the numbers?
Well, we don't give out numbers,
Okay.
Jeremy, but what I can tell you is, we have a couple different organizations that we're working with. I mean, PFA is down there. We're trying to spearhead this thing, but we have to vet, and we have to make sure that we're very responsible in who we're getting down there, because it's a very high intensity environment. We have to have men with the right situational IQ awareness to know what it is and how sensitive the situation is. It takes one guy with itchy fingers, or a big ego, or someone with any kind of ill will or intent to hurt somebody, to blow the whole thing up. Patriots for America, we've been very clear in our message. We're not there to hurt anybody. We're not there to pick a fight. We're not there to start a war. We're there to defend our state, protect our borders in a legal, constitutional, peaceful manner. And that's hope. We hope it stays peaceful. Obviously, we certainly don't want to hurt anybody.
You talked to me about just some of the darkness and evils that are going on. And I wanted to give the audience an idea of what this really looks like, evening to evening, day to day, in your line of work. I mean, you talked a little bit, I don't want to give away what you're going to say, but everything from, rape trees to just some really dark stuff. And a lot of people, they might hear that at a distance. They maybe hear a news program or see something on Telegram, and they don't know what to make of it. They don't know if they believe it. Tell us a little bit about what is actually going on.